Sup, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
What is up, my glistening gigglers? If you're sweaty because it's a hot summer, you're not sweating, you're glistening, you're sparkling, you're glowing.
Yes, I don't sweat, I sparkle.
That is so on brand for you.
I just have extra highlighter on.
We were very rude. Well, we actually made him earn it. Our producer, we didn't want to mention him and bring him into the Gigglyverse before he, showed his stripes.
Right.
And he's been on the mic a little bit, and I think it's finally time to introduce Chris to the Gigglers.
Gigglers, say hi to Chris.
Chris, say hi to the Gigglers.
Hello, gigglers.
I love Chris, and do you want to know why I have so much
Love for a straight man.
Yeah, what is the word? So much admiration. Do you know how many times he has to get up and walk down the stairs here and open the door for people?
The bar is so low for men. If he was a woman, we would never said that.
Never. I would have been like, dude in heels.
Chris, are you single?
Yes.
Good for you.
How old are you?
26.
What's your sign?
You
Don't
had to go
pretend
with-
you don't know what
When's
your
your
sign
birthday?
No,
is.
I know what it is.
Oh.
It's just controversial.
Oh.
Gemini?
Gemini?
Nope.
Scorpio?
Nope.
Cancer?
Nope.
Okay, I feel like those
Taurus.
Is that controversial?
It doesn't get
One
the best.
girl was like, ooh, I can't.
No. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just one, but yeah.
What are you looking for in a woman, Chris?
Jesus, that's a loaded question.
Nope, very simple question.
Blonde or brunette, really, is what
Brunette.
we're at.
So he passes the test.
So you're in love with us and you just haven't said it yet.
No, you were mad at Chris because he sides with me.
Yeah, he does side
So
with
what did I
you.
side with you on?
It was one time that I felt like a little ostracized from the group. But it's fine. It's fine.
The last producer, though, who I think got fired because he said I look like Kim Kardashian.
The guy with the blonde hair?
Yeah, someone, I don't think he got fired, but he moved on.
Okay.
But someone was like, he's clearly,
Obsessed with you.
he's deranged. He's mentally ill. We need to get him out of this company. Also, what are you drinking?
Yeah, this is like basically like a crackhead drink that I have here. It's just cold brew espresso. I didn't have any coffee mugs to
He has
bring in.
black coffee in a plastic water bottle.
Just-
This is
Is that,
Thugging it.
it's cold?
Yeah, it's cold.
Or it's lukewarm?
No. It's like ice cold
It's
out
cold.
of
This
the
is my
fridge.
question. Do we have the ick, or is that the hottest thing I've ever seen?
I kind of feel like it's like,
Raw, manly, just
yeah, where
resources.
like if you're dating Chris and you're somehow find yourself in a pickle, he'll figure it out. He'll throw iced coffee in a water bottle and get to where he needs
It
to
looks
go.
like he could smash his head through a wall right now and survive, and that's kind of hot. This is what he needs to do to prepare for 1 hour of Giggly Squad. He's like, I need to just... What, you don't like macadamia nut milk?
No.
You don't like any nut milks.
You
You're
don't
not
like
into
regular
it.
milk? Do you have IBS?
No.
So you're not relatable.
No.
You know what I want to do so badly with anyone, any guy?
What?
Did you see that thing on TikTok that said like if guys put their balls in soy sauce, it's in listen. You get a bowl, you put soy sauce
What is
in
your
it.
algorithm?
They put their balls in soy sauce.
Yeah.
While they're in the soy sauce, they're supposed to be able to taste it in their mouth.
Trying that tonight.
Yeah, like I want to know so badly.
I feel like guys would lie, though, because they already lie about blue balls. They would lie about that. They're just trying to get girls to do something with their balls.
Yeah.
Chris,
Facts.
how long did it take you to do your hair this morning?
Not long. I just throw some stuff in it.
What stuff?
Like a paste.
Sperm?
Yeah, sperm.
Like a pomade.
Macadamia nut milk.
Okay, enough jokes.
I'm really excited because I feel like we have a lot of men to talk about on this pod, so I can't wait for Chris's opinion.
Yes, because Chris, you're defending all men today.
Awesome.
No pressure.
My favorite job.
I have to say,
Uh-huh.
I do have terrible taste in men.
Yeah.
I like to go for really hot men
Mhm.
because I'm shallow
Yeah.
and have my own insecurities, and I will like not care if they do horrible things until I have a mental breakdown, then I get out of it.
Yeah.
You have an even more situation.
Thank you.
You go for all kinds of guys.
Yeah.
Good looking, not good looking.
Yeah.
And they've all proved to be
Horrible.
first Army Hammer.
If I publicly endorse a male celebrity, just know in 6 months to a year,
His life
something
is over.
fucked up is gonna come out about him. And I don't know if I'm doing that to them or if I just have this really horrible radar where I'm like, that's an awful person. I'll fall in love with them.
Or you have this like manifestation witch quality where you're like, if he's not with me, he's not going to be with anyone.
Yeah, is that what I'm doing?
I thought Jonah Hill was such like a niche cute
Yeah.
crush to have.
And I was so.
It was
I
like
was
a
so-
thrift store, finding like
Yeah,
that one sweater.
It was like I was going thrifting that day, pick up a Jonah Hill.
Other people have looked at it, but they don't see what you see in it, and you're like, I can make an outfit from this.
Where like Army Hammer, I was like, he's giving Upper East Side.
Yes.
It's giving rich.
Old
it's
money.
giving old money country club. And I was like, I'll vibe with it.
He was giving
He's
like
a murderer.
unattainable, but you were like, I can attain this.
Yeah.
He's eats people's meat off their ribs.
Yeah.
So Jonah Hill, at first, I was like, okay, ex-girlfriend hates him. I get it.
Yeah.
But then it's become
I just didn't think I was going to wake up that morning and have everyone against Jonah Hill. Like I just didn't see that for the world. I have two very different schools of thought. I've been hanging out with my boyfriend the past couple of days. So I feel like he's
processing.
done something to my brain where like I have
Oh.
one school of thought where it's coming from him and I
Oh,
know
no.
it's wrong.
Oh no.
But I'm going to say it on
Oh
the
no,
pod.
Craig.
But then I have like my normal school of thought. So
Also, Craig and I have been texting, so like I'm on like a pro Craig.
are
run.
you?
Yeah, we talk about tennis.
Oh my!
And
It's been on all the past
And
few days. of my
whenever I
apartment.
call you, I feel like I need to tell you I've been texting, where it's like we've been cheating.
yeah, I get it.
Like I'm like, hey, it's Raquel. We just talked about tennis. Nothing sexual about the balls.
Whatever. Yeah, right. Actually, right as I walked in the door on Sunday, he was like, "Hey, I've been texting Hannah." And I was like, "Okay."
At least we're open and
Yeah.
honest.
But now it's like freaking me out more. Like, am I the dumb woman that's like, oh, they told me about their affair and I chose to
We're
not
just
believe
friends.
it?
We're literally just friends. We just like get along.
So I was saying to him, like, oh my God, have you seen all the Jonah Hill stuff? Like, that's crazy. He seems like a monster. Craig said to me, but why is she coming? Why did she say it now that he's like moved on and is having a baby with another woman? Like, what was
Triggered
it?
it.
Basically, like, what triggered her to say it now? Like, does she just want to ruin his current relationship?
Mhm.
But, which, okay.
Well, there might be a motive to it, but that doesn't change what was done.
Correct. And like she doesn't need something.
Also,
A
like,
reason
this
to come
podcast is
out.
about revenge.
Yeah. And I think we should have her on. There is something to be said that like when you do like a man goes to therapy and we praise that. We're like, "Oh my God, yeah, he's in therapy."
Mhm.
To then take everything he's learned in therapy
And weaponize it.
and weaponize it and then start using like therapy term. I remember Craig went to therapy one time. And then like the next 3 days was like using therapy terms on me. And I was like, stop going, like quit. Because you're
spinning
you're
things.
spinning it. The way
And
he,
you're acting holier than thou because you had a 45-minute conversation where you talked about yourself.
right, where you just had one man that was like yesing you to death to just like get you to open up. Just the way he was talking to her in terms of like the boundaries and like what she could post, what she couldn't post.
Mhm.
Here's my whole thing that triggered me. Jonah Hill knew that this girl, I don't even know, what is her name?
I think it's Sarah.
I don't know.
Chris, what's her name?
It's definitely Sarah.
Sarah.
You don't support women in the arts.
Regardless of what her parents named her, she was a surfer. He started dating her. She was a surfer
No,
already.
He slid into her DMs because he saw a hot photo of her surfing.
She was already posting surfing pictures. She was already posting bathing
He
suit
liked
pictures.
the bathing suit photo, and that's why he slid into her DMs.
And Sarah. And so
Chris,
now
is it with
all
an
of-
H or an A?
Definitely an H.
Okay, he's right. Okay, Chris.
the Sarahs
I
get
apologize.
the Sarahs get mad about that. H no H. It's a whole thing in Sarah country.
Yeah, it's like Hannah country. But
Yeah.
Hannah's pretty more like everyone knows the H at the
a
end is the
pal-
right way.
Yeah, right. A palindrome. So that was my first thing that I was like, that's nutty. Because I feel like I've experienced that too, where it's like, oh my God, you're on reality TV. That's so crazy. Well, you should stop being on reality TV. That's disgusting. When it's like, but you, okay, here we are.
Mhm.
So I didn't love that.
Mhm.
I don't love that then she was showing pictures where he was like in boxers and like posted a picture, and she was like, what about that? Isn't like, why can't I also do the same thing? So all in all, Team Sarah.
My biggest red flag, because you know I don't like to read, and I was like, I'm not reading all these messages, was the way he was texting her, where he was like, duh.
If you're spacing new paragraph.
He was having full like essays, or he was doing the like rapid attack where it was like forwards. I don't with that in relationships.
Yeah.
If you want to fight with me, call me or see me in person. Don't rage text me and just get your out and then like I have to read it. That's like girlfriend homework. And like your phone's just buzzing with this angry man.
Something really fucked up, fucking voice note it.
Yes, voice note me. Like I don't do this whole rage text fighting. Like I get it in your early 20s when you're like drunk at the club. It's funny.
Yeah.
But not when you're in your 30s. Like call someone and speak to them like an adult.
Send a voice note saying you.
Abby from Broad City.
Yeah.
Did I say it? No. What's her name? Who's the one who's Chris?
I know who you're talking about.
Alana Glazer goes on TikTok and said the most intelligent, well-said reason. Because some men were like, he has boundaries. He's just saying her boundaries.
I was very taken back by the men that were coming out being
the
like,
comment,
what?
He
like,
said what his boundaries are, which is so funny.
Like
because you messaged the girl who surfs, and then you're telling her you don't like when she surfs or shows bikinis, but you liked it, and that's how you got her.
Yep.
2, boundaries come from you. If I say, Paige, I want to have boundaries with you, I don't tell you what to do. I say what my boundaries are. I don't like doing this. I don't feel comfortable going to this party. You can't say, I don't feel comfortable when you do that. That's not your boundaries.
Right.
That's you controlling someone else.
Oh my God.
Signed, sealed, delivered. See you in large claims court.
No, seriously.
Boundaries are saying what you feel comfortable with.
Court. Now, my next thing is, what do you think his current
I was thinking that.
girlfriend / baby mama, do you think she's like somewhere laying in bed, reading all of these messages, reading all of this stuff, being like, I'm either 1, going through this right now, 2, doesn't realize that she's in it, or 3, like, is so like, oh, he doesn't treat me like that?
Well, it's possible the girl he's with now, like, she's like, well, I don't surf because I'm fine. I stay from the water. Sharks have been biting people out in Long Island. I don't with the ocean. I'm good.
Also, just to clarify, Sarah's not posting like bathing suit pictures on a beach where she's like kneeling and like her tits are out, like
which are
she's
fine,
which are also stunning, gorgeous if I could
obsessed.
do it. She's like on a surfboard and like half of her butt cheek is showing because she's in a bathing suit. Like she's in like a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So
she's literally being an athlete.
Literally.
And I do think with her, it takes time to process.
Yeah.
And also it's kind of like the Army Hammer thing. You're dating a celebrity.
I always have a theory that like if men don't like that you are like wearing risque outfits or like you're posting in bathing suit pictures, my theory is, and you know what it's gonna be,
they cheat.
They're gay. I also think every man is gay, but I really think those kinds of men
I think it's because they don't trust you because they don't trust themselves. I think he's doing sketchy. Like, you know how you're only jealous? Like, you accuse your partner of cheating when you've cheated?
Right. Yes.
That's what it's giving.
Okay.
Like, what's he doing in the DMs that he thinks if she posts a photo where other guys will like it, she would just leave him or something? It's deep insecurity.
Yes.
Were you ever in a relationship where someone tried to control you?
Yeah, many.
What are some
Multiple.
examples?
All of them.
It's so funny because
I'm always like one step away from being in a cult. I feel like also controlling relationships sometimes get different as you get older. Like everyone has like their 19-year-old boyfriend who like controlled the out of them. Like, yeah I had that where he was like crazy and said he would like chop me up and bury me in Vermont. And I was like, why would we pick Vermont? Like, you know, neither of us are even from there, but whatever. That was his own situation.
Was that Army Hammer?
No, but like now that I think back on that, that's a wild thing to say to your girlfriend. Like, look, I'll kill you and chop you up and no one
And you're in the group text and you're like, hey, has anyone ever dealt with They didn't have group text back then. It was like AIM.
Like
Your away message is like, if I'm not here, I'm in Vermont.
I'm in Vermont. Someone please look for me. But yes, when I first started on reality TV, I feel like the guy that I was dating was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. This is so cool. You're so, like, this is so good for you. I'm so proud of you, blah, blah, blah. And then like 6 months in, he was like, well, I can't be with someone who's on reality TV. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what you want me to do about it.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, oh, well, I shouldn't do this anymore. I can't do this.
He's right. He knows what's best for me.
Yep.
I feel like it was very like, I'm tennis player. I don't let boys distract me.
Yeah.
And I hate being controlled. Like,
Yeah.
I don't with rules.
No.
And I think like those kind of controlling guys could sense that from me.
Yeah.
Because even if they would try, I just wouldn't listen to them.
Yep.
And I think I've gotten out of relationships when a guy saw that like he can't control me because I'm literally a feral creature.
That's why I was so confused on why everyone hated The Idol. Because in reality, she was getting controlled by a guy and then flipped it. And then she started controlling out of the entire situation.
But it still made like her look evil at the end.
No, she was evil.
But like she didn't have to be evil. It could have showed like that she's empowered.
Yeah.
And that she's smart and that
Well, she was getting revenge.
Yes, which we love.
Yeah.
But I do feel like people are just mad that it was supposed to be more female perspective and that The Weeknd kind of made it like he's the victim. And it's like, what?
Got it.
That's
Okay,
what
that's why
that-
people were mad that they made
Yes.
it that he then ended up
But
being
Lily
the
Rose
victim.
Depp can do nothing wrong, and I stand her. And I listened to her song this morning while I was getting ready. Cause I'm a freak, yeah.
Can you believe
You know what I know.
Timothy Chalamet went from Lily Rose Depp to Kylie Jenner?
Can you believe that Lily Rose Depp is so over men? She's a lesbian.
I love that.
And that's the moral of the story.
Just be a lesbian. I feel like I've talked about being a lesbian more than ever in the past 2 weeks. I don't
Really?
know why.
I could totally see you having a girlfriend. You know Caitlyn Carter?
yeah.
When she went out with Miley Cyrus, that was like a moment.
Here's the thing. I think about it all the time where I'm like, I'd love to be a lesbian. I'd love to like
You did
share
talk about this last episode.
share clothes with someone. I'd love to like share shoes. I'd love to like have one joint closet. I'd love to hang out with them all day. Like we'd watch the same things. Like, and then I realized that's just a friend. Like
But-
I
but
described a friend.
She would just like go down on you all day.
I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
Yeah.
But I know I couldn't lay on the couch and be like, babe, what do you want to eat? And it be a girl.
It's emotion. You couldn't have the emotion.
I couldn't have an emotional.
But I do think you could meet like one of like Taylor Strecker.
yeah.
She met Taylor Donahue, and
Yeah.
she's like, I don't know if I'm gay, but like this soul and this person
Mhm.
I'm into.
See, I feel like on the spectrum of like gay and straight, because I think it is totally a spectrum, I'd say I lean straight.
Oh, I thought you were coming out right now.
Oh, imagine, make that the title of this episode. Paige comes
I
out.
think that you're saying your DMs are open.
I don't think I could do it.
One thing I do love about Craig.
Try and think of it.
Why is
Lester.
Chris laughing so hard?
You guys were just talking about how you're texting back and forth and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like
Thank you
really.
for looking out.
got you. I got
Thank you
you.
for looking out.
Chris was like, "Hey, I just have to say something. This has gone too far." I mean, obviously he has his moments where like he wants to do things his way because he's like a human.
Yeah.
But like he definitely lets you do you and like loves you
sure.
for you.
Yeah, because
Which
I'm
is the
his
bare
mom.
minimum.
Literally. Yeah, like he
You're
what
not
do you-
gonna tell your mom what to
Yeah.
do. You're his lifeline.
he has to compliment me. I feed him. Like I let him sleep at my apartment.
See, Des will give me, because he's smarter than me, will tell me like advice and be like, you shouldn't do this or you should do this. And if I don't listen and it
Yeah.
goes wrong, he goes, you never listen to me.
Yeah.
But that's not controlling. That's
I have converted Craig though, and this weekend he stayed at my apartment, and he is usually one to be like out and about and talking and like chatting and like
Oh.
socializing. He stayed at my apartment. He didn't leave for 48 hours. I got home and he goes, I get it. Like you rot in this couch, and like you turn on the TV, you light some candles, and I'm like, yeah, this way I don't go anywhere.
The thing is I'll go out. I went out recently, and you know when the vibe is not like that great, like maybe there's some people you're not that close to, and I had like 1 or 2 interactions where I wasn't like,
You weren't 100% about them. It wasn't your best work.
yeah, it wasn't my best work.
Yeah.
And it wasn't my fault it was my
No.
best work. They were not giving me the in
Yeah.
to be my full beautiful self.
I get that.
And I got home and I was just like, I wish I stayed home tonight because that was a C-.
Yeah.
I feel like people thought I was weird.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Getting home after an interaction like that, and you're like, am I weird? Am I?
it was one of those group hangs where
Yeah.
like some of them were like friends with my ex, and I just like was in my own
Fuck a
head.
group hang.
And then I was like trying to like say some stuff, and I'm like, they didn't like. And then by the end, I was like, no one.
yeah,
like,
you're like, I'm getting an Uber, and
I-
no one even cared. You were like calling it. That's
I
when
was like,
you
does
know
that-
if it's your friends or not. If your friends see you calling an Uber, they're like, what the fuck? Where
no,
are
when
you going?
people are like, and then you're leaving, and you're like, should I say bye? Do they even care?
You're like, okay, my Uber's here, and they're like, oh, okay, great, see ya.
So sometimes I'm like, oh, socializing with the wrong energy is not always best. But then when you socialize with the right energy, it's great. But I'm always tired after,
Always.
regardless.
I feel like every time I socialize and then I get home, I have to play back the entire interaction and see like where did I fuck up, and that anxiety alone, I'd rather avoid it.
The one way I get out of it is I think from my perspective, did I hear anything did I have any interactions with me that was so bad that I now think of them differently? And most of the time it's no.
Okay.
I either felt a type of way about the person or I didn't. So I'm like, they're not thinking about me.
Okay, speaking of horrible men, let's talk about Keke Palmer.
So I like missed the original interaction. Was it a tweet?
It was on his Instagram story, I believe, that he posted.
And he's
like
with her. He's her boyfriend.
they have a baby together. They just had a baby.
Is he her boyfriend?
Yeah, they're like in a
Together.
relationship. And basically he was saying she went to the Usher concert and she wore like a very normal outfit that
It's also
you would
very
wear.
in to wear like a mesh dress right now. It's just like
Very,
style.
yeah, very into be like see-through. And
Trendy.
she's stylish. Like
Gorgeous.
she does every single genre of job.
I
Like
also met her
yeah,
and she was the coolest, funniest person ever.
I bet.
It was like 6 years ago.
I
She's
saw her
really
getting
cool.
out of a car one time.
No, she's
And I was like, that's a cool
she's a
girl.
genius. She's everything. This
She's
is a
obviously
Keke Palmer
she's
stan
paying his
podcast.
bills because what's he do?
Your allowance is cut, bro.
Yeah, like what does he do? Well, I don't even know his name. It's honestly
important.
irrelevant. But
Chris, what's his name? We don't care.
No
But-
idea.
Good.
he basically posted being like, you know, if you're a wife and a mother and you shouldn't be like wearing these outfits.
It's
and,
giving
like,
Jonah Hill.
It's giving Jonah Hill, and it's this like, who do you think you are to criticize the person that feeds you? Like you wouldn't have a home.
This is a new verb now. It's called Jonah Hilling. If a guy literally says anything to you that like is clearly his own insecurities to try to control you, you go,
You're
please don't Jonah Hill me.
I'm just also
Is this the Jonah Hill you want to die on?
there is part of me too though that is sad because I feel like I now have to go through a breakup. Like I had to go through a breakup with Armie Hammer. Now I have to go through a breakup with Jonah
No,
Hill.
what does this entail? Do you have to sage your apartment?
It's just like I don't think he's do I think he's funny anymore? Like is he done in movies? Like am I never seeing him again? Like what? I don't have any closure.
Creatively, what is this?
Creatively, what's gonna go?
I
what's
also
gonna
like
happen?
we know his mom.
We know his
Who
mom.
we love.
And that's usually what it is. Like
But
when
you
you're
know what?
dating someone, you're like, I can't stay because I love their family.
But this is one of those things where you look at the mom and she might be like, I know he's fucking, and you're like, it's not your fault.
That's probably one of people don't talk about is one of the best connections is when a mom of the person you're dating says, get out.
No, I've broken up with a guy and the mom's like, I would if I could. I've had so many times where I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, and she's like, I'm like, is this? And she's like, I know.
I had a boyfriend one time and his mom said, if I were you, I would cheat on him. And I was like, okay. And she was like, seriously.
Because the thing is, sometimes they're so over their husbands.
Yeah.
And the son has habits of their husband. So when she sees him doing it to you, you look at her and she's like,
yeah.
do you want this to be your life?
Yeah.
Like, because I totally respect if you don't, because I'm over it. And it's not her fault.
I think that we don't put enough emphasis on when we start dating a guy looking at like, what's the mom's life like?
Yes. But also there's two types of moms. There's the Delulu moms.
Yep.
And they're the ones who tend to be like a little more subservient.
Yep.
They aren't speaking their mind.
Yep.
And they just kind of, it's the dad's home.
Oh,
Yes.
gross.
And those we do not with. You want to go into a home, the mom's in charge, the mom's calling the shots.
Wait, that is like something to look out for. You have
'Cause
to
that's how
walk
our
into a
home has to
home
be.
and know that the mom is in charge.
And I don't mind, like, for in my household,
yeah.
if you first walk in, it looks like Des is in charge.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. He's
Yeah.
doing the admin. But overall,
Yeah.
I am the pulse.
Yeah. I like for Craig to be scared to ask me questions. Like, I like to instill fear. Like, hey, do you, like, I like that he thinks I'm always really busy, that he's like, do you have a second that I can just, and I'm like, yes, I do. Proceed. Like, I want you to increasingly get more and more scared of me every single day.
Why are Craig's text messages going to come out with you on Instagram?
Actually, one time we had just started dating and we had gotten into a really, really bad fight.
I
and
feel like you text fight.
And I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, if he screenshotted these, I would be done for.
That is also what's hard about when people try to, like, cancel people is when you
But
take...
usually if girls are texting and saying a bunch of crazy to their boyfriend, 95% of it is
There's
true.
a reason.
Where's the lie?
I always say, you know the girl who cut off her husband's dick? What did we all
Justified.
think? What did he do? No one was like, oh, God, she went. We go, what did this do?
Yes.
She tossed it into a field.
Okay,
Like, cutting it was not enough. She's like, I need him to look through a field for his floppy little dick.
Can you die from that?
He definitely needs to go to the hospital from the bleeding. Why did you ask that? Chris is shaking right now. Chris is screaming, throwing up.
die, it's like,
No, it's like so dramatic. Well, it's like Game of Thrones. Remember when you heard about the onyxes? I had like 100 questions about the onyxes. You know what an onyx is?
No, I don't
Game of
even know what
Thrones?
that
No.
is.
Am I the only... Did you watch Game of Thrones? No.
No.
Okay, Game of Thrones, there's this thing called onyxes. And I was like, what's an onyx? And they were like, he has no dick. And
They
I was like,
chopped it
what?
off.
And it's like for soldiers, they would chop off their dicks so they'd be focused. But then they'd have romances and I'd be like, how are they?
Yeah, they're just not.
I mean, a lot of cunnilingus,
Oh, like he's just going down on her.
probably.
But how, but like, does he even get, it's like a dog. Like,
Yes.
do they still have the urge?
Well, it's like, you know, like when a dog's tail's cut off, but it's still kind of wags.
yes, that's what it,
He has,
no, that's so
he
bad.
has like the boner, like the imaginary boner. Like it's boning, but it doesn't actually bone. Why are people...
If I had a nickel.
I could not get over this onyx. And I was like, yeah, he's an onyx. And I'm like, I have so many
And that's
questions.
like a real term or that's a Game of Thrones term?
I think it's a... Chris,
Like
can
a
you
real-
Google what the
a-
onyx thing?
A real thing that people are doing.
I mean, definitely in Game of Thrones. And that was like the least freaky thing happening on Game of Thrones.
No, literally.
So,
So,
but I do think some people, like, in the heat of the moment can say crazy shit.
yeah.
And you take it out of context and anyone could look like so mean or like, because you
Right.
don't know what led up to that.
Right.
But the stuff he was saying was problematic in like a very upsetting way
Yeah.
with like the words he was using and what he was telling her to do. It's literally like a guy being like, telling me to stop playing tennis.
Right.
That's why I was like really personally, it's like, hey, can you stop like holding that grip so when you're hitting the ball?
Yeah.
Or like wearing those little shorts when you're playing tennis.
Like when I first started dating Craig, one of the things that he didn't realize was like in New York City, the girls are wearing tank tops, we're doing no bras.
Yeah.
Our nipples are out.
Yeah.
If you really look, like you could see the outline of an areola. Like that's just a thing that we do. Like
Yeah.
we're walking around, whatever. And Craig like like the first time he ever saw me do it, he was like, "Oh, you're gonna go out like that?" And I was like what? But like I would never do that in Charleston.
Yeah, it's just culture.
But it's not like he was like, oh, I don't like when you go out and your nipples are out. Like the first thing he said was like, wow, I can't wait to watch how many people like look at your nipples and then like look at you. And I'm like, yeah, count it. Like, let me know at the end of the day.
See, Des will be the opposite, where I'll wear my cargo pants and a baggy shirt and sweatshirt, and he'll be like, going out like that? And I'm like, yeah, it's comfortable. And he's like, you look like a middle schooler who just got detention. And I'm like, I'm comfortable.
See, me and Des are the same. Craig will put an outfit on. I'm like, that's what we picked today? Do we feel like that matches?
If I was Sarah, I would have said, babe, I am so, so sorry. And I would have put on like an Eskimo outfit.
And then
I
gone in
would
the
have
ocean.
gone surfing and taken photos.
Yes.
And then people would be like, what the fuck is going on? I'd be like, oh, I was told that this is what I should wear.
Yeah, my boyfriend wanted me to cover up more. So I just wanted to cover all my bases.
Yeah, but what the thing with Jonah Hill is, it's really gotten momentum.
I know. I didn't think it was going to take off. I mean, people are up in arms
I
about
think
it.
you know why? Because he did that therapy documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Chrissy Teigen. People got so mad at Chrissy Teigen because she came off like she was everyone's best friend.
Yeah.
And then was like bullying people sometimes. And
Yep.
people were, if she was just bullying people, people were like, yeah, Chrissy Teigen sometimes. But she had marketed herself as everyone's best friend that
Yep.
you could trust.
Yeah.
He marketed himself as this like guy who works on himself. He's just the cuddly like guy who is always everyone's
trying
best
to work
friend.
on himself so he can be the best partner, best friend for
But then people
people.
said, looking back at the documentary, it's A, like very unprofessional, their relationship. B, like, what are you trying to say out of it?
Mhm.
Like, part of it was a little narcissistic, like that Jonah Hill's like, I've learned so much from this man to be like so knowledgeable about life.
Mhm.
I want to share it to the world.
What do you think they're talking about today? Like what? Like what do you think the therapist
guy's blocked
is like?
him.
Yeah, he's like, you got us in a real pickle.
The therapist blocked him. He's like,
I think we also need to normalize, like, sometimes therapists are wacko. I had one therapist where I was like, am I crazy or is this nuts?
I had a therapist where I was trying to get out of it.
Yeah.
Which, because you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've talked about this for a year and a
How
half.
do you break up with your
I
therapist?
need to move on. So I sent her this long text. I had a great time. This was so much fun. It's not me, it's
Hey,
you.
we had like such good times
and I
together.
literally was like, and she like, if I missed a session, I'd get charged.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would randomly get a flight, or I had
Yeah.
a crazy schedule. So I was like, my schedule's a little too crazy, and I feel so good. We've done a year and a half. Now it's time for me to kind of like take off the training wheels and exist
Yeah.
a little, and I'll come back with more issues in a year.
Yeah.
And she
Is like, what is the protocol? Like, people don't talk about that. Like, should you be in therapy for the rest of your life?
Whenever I've done it, I always get to a burnout eventually where once I start going on and I don't really know what to talk about, and then I start trying to come up with problems and
Yeah.
then end the therapy session more upset than I started.
Yeah,
Like,
you're beating it.
exactly. And I'm just like, I'm also like I want to be like, I want the therapist to think I'm doing a good job all the time. So I'm
Right.
like, hi, this is
This
what we
is
should
what I
work on.
yeah,
I never am just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And let her figure it out. So she responds and she was like, hey, like, we need to talk about this. Like, you can't, this is very you to just like,
This is so
This
you.
is
You're
so
obviously
you.
having an episode.
no, she literally was like, this is so you to not like face the possible like kind of awkward interaction of like ending this with me. So let's hop on the call. Like, we have to like talk this out.
So did you?
So I was like, yes, because I'm a people pleaser. So then I go on and she clearly convinces me to keep going. And then like 5 more sessions later, I texted her. I was like, I can't do this anymore. But she basically didn't let me break up with her.
No. I think
How
that's
would you break
weird.
up with? You would just ghost them.
I ghost.
Yeah.
I've ghosted many a therapist, I feel like. I one time was dating this guy and he made me go to couples therapy, which I should have
If you're going to couples
known
therapy
then.
before
It
you're married,
It was literally
know.
like month 3, and he was like, I think that like you need to be in therapy full time, but also like we should do couples therapy with my therapist like once a week. And I was like, am I that up of a person that you think I need to be in multiple hours of therapy a week? But I was like brainwashed. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, you're right. You're making me such a better person.
yeah.
That therapist wanted to know my boyfriend. Like I was convinced because she always agreed with him.
Also, a boyfriend would never want to do a couples therapy where he didn't know he was going to look good in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like he wanted to prove to you, like, see?
And I remember the moment that I ghosted both of them, honestly.
That's amazing. No, because couples therapy becomes who's going to win the therapy session.
And I was like, I will be, if I'm sitting here and both of you are saying I need to change. Like, I know I'm not the crazy one here.
You go, are we going to talk about how he's gay?
No.
The elephant in the room.
Literally. I was like, if we're going to dig, let's dig. Okay?
No, I remember this one.
I was like, I feel like this is more than just mommy issues.
This
Okay?
one guy I dated had a therapist who was a man, red flag, and I would get
No, I can't have a male
in the
therapist.
beginning. He called me and he was like, "So I've been having trouble."
The
And my-
therapist has been having trouble?
No, the
Oh.
boyfriend, and he was
Okay.
like, and then my therapist said it's because like you're really healthy for me, and I haven't been in a healthy relationship, and that's why I'm so scared. And then he would always, after the therapy session, I would be like hoping the therapist said something nice about me.
Yeah.
And, like the therapist doesn't know about me,
Yep.
only knows me from what
Yeah.
he's saying. So the whole time I was like, please, therapist, tell him to be with me.
Yeah.
And it was this like crazy control thing where I just wanted to be with the guy so bad. And then eventually I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm out.
No, therapists can be toxic.
Well, I have a theory, and this is not for everyone,
Okay.
but there's certain careers that people go in because they snapped. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
This means like
Because
you're-
they've snapped emotion. Like,
yes,
okay.
like this is where you go.
Okay.
Yoga teacher,
Yep.
therapist,
Mm-hmm.
real estate agent.
Yes.
No one's ever become a real estate agent going through a good time.
No, they've always had to pivot, and they're like, I'll do real estate now, which a great career.
A great career, but no one wakes up and was like for example, Ryan Serhant wanted to be an actor.
Yep.
Nothing was working. He was like,
No
I'll
one
try real
wakes up
estate.
and goes and takes
No one in
the
a
real
good
estate.
place becomes a yoga teacher. At
Yeah.
25, when I had no job and I quit my job selling t-shirts, what was I going to do? Take a yoga teaching certificate class, except I couldn't touch my toes. I thought about becoming a yoga teacher.
I would pay
Because I like motivating people.
thousands and thousands of dollars to see you run one yoga session. Like, just picturing you at the front of, okay,
With the
everyone,
convoys.
get in with your mats.
So you are worthy. You are worthy, and we're going to connect. And don't push yourself. You can be in child's pose the whole time, Paige. And no one will
No,
judge you. You're just
I-
judging yourself.
No,
But you know what? They are good to have as friends.
but I know.
I do need a friend who's oh my God, Ray Romano has the funniest bit about like how your friends change throughout your life.
Yeah.
And they were like, when you're in your teens, you need someone with a car.
Yep.
When you're in your 20s, you need someone who's like a drug dealer.
Yep.
When you're in your 30s, you need someone who's like a lawyer, I
Yeah.
think. And then when you're 40s, you need someone who's a doctor.
Yep.
And then when you're older, you need someone with a car again. I might have fucked up.
No, I get that.
Oh, okay. We have to discuss Threads, which I've decided is.
I literally only downloaded it because I saw that you downloaded it.
Okay, so I checked to see if you downloaded it because I was gonna message you and be like, download it, and you downloaded it like right when I downloaded it, and I was like, okay, she's on her.
I honestly, as I was doing it, I was like, I am an advertiser's dream. I was like, I just saw Hannah do this, and now I'm like typing in my information.
And I'm like, you know, writing. I have all these thought pieces on my Threads. I go to your profile. I'm like, what is Paige saying on her Threads?
I reposted one girlfriend from college.
You reposted her, and she said, I'm confused.
Very on brand. I'm confused. And I thought, perfectly
And
put.
I kind of feel like you should keep it as that forever. But you don't have a Twitter, famously.
No.
So this is a safe space of like all your Instagram people. I do think it's the DH gate of Twitter,
Yeah.
as in it's better and easier.
But also, like, they didn't think of the eyebrow industry because threading is, like, already a thing. Like, are they trying to, like, totally take over Twitter? Like, is Twitter dead?
They're trying to take over Twitter because, it's like Twitter became just like scary.
Yeah.
Like Twitter felt like you say something and then like some guy in Wisconsin is like, go yourself. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah, go
But when-
Badgers.
But yeah, go Badgers. But with Threads, you write something and immediately all your Instagram friends are commenting.
Yeah.
So you feel like you're in this community. My problem with it though is sometimes I want to know like about a topic, like the Idol. I want to write in and be like the Idol and see what everyone's threading about it.
Mhm.
But they don't have that yet. I think it's going to happen.
Actually, something really scary recently. Like to Google something, I go on TikTok.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Like not
Well,
like
we're
oh my-
visual learners.
Yeah, no,
I'm not reading an
literally.
article.
I'm like, okay, I'll find a video on this. Like, and I type it into TikTok. And one of my girlfriends was like, "It's not good." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Not for like, I don't do it for like current events."
I do it for current events.
Yeah. But and I was lying to her. I was like, "Yeah, not for like news
Not for
stuff."
new stuff. No, Des called me and in the morning and he was like, "Did you hear what happened?" And I was like, what was going on at the time?
And you're
I
like-
was like, the submarine. And he was like, no, Russia. And I was like, whoa. And he's like, yeah, like there's a coup happening in Russia.
Yeah.
He's like, turn on the TV. And I was like, okay, so turn the TV. And they're like, it's no longer a coup. And I was like, you just stressed me out for no reason.
Yep.
Because the coup was like 20 hours and I could have lived my life without stressing about a coup in Russia. I don't even know what a coup is, how to spell it, what's going on.
My brain immediately went to, I don't know if they eat couscous in Russia.
I also like don't find out about news until it becomes a meme on my TikTok or people are like, Des
Yeah.
hears it firsthand. And then he'll
Right.
get mad because I'll be like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, Google it. And I'm like, why would I Google it when you could tell me
When
it
you've
right
been
now?
dying to talk about it to anyone.
Yeah, like why were you reading it if you couldn't explain it to
Yeah.
me? Like, what is your purpose on this planet?
Craig like reads the news on his phone.
Wait,
And I'm
that's
like,
cute.
that's adorable.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is it upside down? When he's like- Also, speaking of TikTok, I got a jump scare. Tyga and Avril Lavigne are dating.
No, it's the oddest couple.
Were you gonna? Okay.
Yes.
You just read my mind.
It's what the craziest thing.
It's
Because if you did the actual chart, like she used to date
Brody.
Tyga used to date Kylie,
Mhm.
and also dated Black China, who has a baby with Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want them to have one big Thanksgiving reality episode.
100%. Because at first I'm like, this is such different worlds, and then
But
I'm like,
Tyga and China also have a baby.
yes,
Yeah.
it's just very but like I kind of love it. I kind of want them to put out a song together.
I think so too. What if you know how I love a conspiracy theory and have you seen that conspiracy that like that's not Avril Lavigne?
Yeah.
And I still always think about it every time I see her.
Well, people think Kanye is not real and Avril Lavigne's not real.
I don't think Kanye is real either. He doesn't look the same. And he grew 3 inches?
Even if you get lipo, you still look the same. Like Amy Schumer got lipo, no one's like, that's not Amy Schumer.
Right. Something weird is going on. Have you been keeping up with the Kardashians?
I haven't yet. Kim, I'm going to. Kim, stop.
My mom literally texted me out of nowhere and she was like, I just love Kim.
Oh.
And I was like, don't talk about yourself. But the last few episodes have been good.
I do have to say shout out to Kylie. I'm really obsessed with like lip hydrating stuff that has like a little color in it because I
Okay.
don't like to always put on like a full lip. I bought her tinted butter balm
Okay.
and it's really good.
Wow. So you and Haley are in a fight or something? What's going on?
Is she not getting along with Haley?
I mean, it's just like she has road, but it's fine. You have no allegiance to anyone.
One final thing about guys.
Yeah.
A girl on TikTok said this, and I think it's so spot on. Guys are friends with girls they find attractive, and girls are friends with guys they find unattractive. Because if he's attractive, you want to
You
fuck
want
him,
him.
and he'll you.
Guys would have sex with any girl they're friends with.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Because I don't think there's no guy that's hanging out with a girl that he's not attracted to. And I've always said this. Chris, what do you think?
Do you have any girlfriends that like you've never had sex with, but like you've thought about like at one time or another you've had a moment like what would it be like if I had sex with her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Do you have any friends that are girls that you would never have sex
Yes.
with? But you'll hang out with them one-on-one over your guy
No.
friends?
No.
Okay.
Right.
I have friends. I'm not incriminating too
No
much.
one said you didn't have
no
friends.
one said that seems like
No
your
one said
own
that.
thing.
You're getting-
Don't Jonah Hill us.
Don't get defensive.
No, but that is so true. Like I have guy friends, and most of my guy friends,
Are ugly.
no, I've either
If
had
they're good
sex-
looking, you've had sex with them.
I've had sex with
Yes.
some of them.
Yes.
But like years ago, and it's like, okay, well, now we're just friends.
But you enjoy being with them because you know that like you're not gonna fit anymore and you're not
Right.
attracted to them anymore because you them and you're like, ugh.
right.
I know You know when a guy hangs out with you and he's like, yeah, we get along, you're always like, he's in love with me.
Yeah, but like he would have sex with me
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
So we solved it.
World peace.
Finally, some dope docs. There's a Shaun White doc coming out. People have to watch. Ashley Madison doc on Hulu.
Oh yeah, I saw the preview for that.
I watched the first episode and like it was a little.
I'm gonna say something. I feel like the Hulu docs, they could punch him up a little.
No, I was bored.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I got it. It's Ashley Madison. And then it was really
Hulu
sad.
docs almost give like People magazine docs. It's like, I feel like you could up this value.
1,000%. 1,000%. So like Ashley Madison, watch it, but you're not gonna be like floored, and it's kind of sad at one point.
Okay.
Rock Hudson. Have you heard of Rock Hudson? He's like the hottest guy ever.
Wait, have you heard the Garth Brooks conspiracy theory?
What?
That he's a murderer?
Oh, our taste in men. Who did he murder?
It's like a deep, you gotta be deep on like conspiracy TikTok, and you know I am. But Tom Segura does like a whole like bit about it, and people comment his Instagram on Garth Brooks being like, where are the bodies? Because people go missing from his shows, and they're like, Garth Brooks is murdering all these people. And I
Wait.
just think it's a great,
That should be the next show that The Weeknd does about a pop star who
is it secretly a
brings
serial
people
killer?
back to the green room and murders them. That's a really good show.
Yep.
But yeah, this guy Rock Hudson, you cannot be named Rock Hudson without being gorgeous
Oh. Or a douchebag.
or a douchebag.
Yeah.
Braxton. But he does have he was the star back in the day
Okay.
in movies, and he was in the closet.
Okay.
And then I think he got AIDS.
Mhm.
And it came out that he was gay, and everyone was like all upset that he lied to them. And it was this whole thing, but he was incredible. And then there's a Wham documentary on Netflix.
What the heck is a Wham?
Wham is George Michael. Careless whisperer.
Okay.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart. You know Wham?
No. Should I know these things?
Do you know Wham? Do you know Wham? Okay, you have to go home, play the Wham soundtrack.
How are you spelling wham?
Okay. How would you spell Wham?
W
I'm going to play a song.
H-M? Wham? Oh, okay. They're called Wham? Oh, okay, I know them.
But
it's
then-
also 1,000 years old. W-H-A-M. Okay, sorry, my dyslexia had kicked in when I spelled it.
So George Michael was in the closet during Wham.
Okay.
And I think he eventually comes out, yes. But then he goes on a solo
Immediately canceled.
career to do his own stuff where he sings Careless Whisperer, which is one of the great songs of all time. Freudian slip. Freudian slip.
Okay.
Okay, then
Sorry, I do know. Yes.
Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Don't let the sun go down on me.
No. Okay, yes. I know Wham.
So anyway, watch that on Netflix.
Okay, and it's about him being gay.
Wham is more about like, actually, we're kind of like Wham. It's about two best friends when they met when they were 12 years old, and they wanted to form a band.
Mm-hmm.
The dads were not supportive, or one of the dads wasn't.
Okay.
Not that our dads aren't supportive,
Right.
but they're like, can you stop having on TV?
Yeah.
And he wanted to be a doctor, accountant, but he loved singing, and they gave each other confidence.
Oh, nice.
Like they were like, I believe in you, you're a star.
Were they gay together?
No, one was
Oh.
straight and the other one was in the closet.
Oh.
And they were like, Paige. Which is funny because I'm the butchiest straight girl in the world, but I think you're the most femme gay girl in the world.
Yeah, like I
Like,
Wait.
I'm a lesbian straight and you're a straight lesbian.
I said the other day to Craig, I was like, imagine if I had a sister. And he was like, oh, yeah, like that would be cool. And I was like, but imagine if, I don't know why my brain went here. I was like, imagine if she was so hot, but she was like a lesbian and her girlfriend was also like so hot. And he was like, would we have with that? And I was like, ew, no, that's my sister. And he was like, wait, I'm so he was like, did you just get mad at me for wanting to have your fake sister?
I just imagined you getting like tats on your arms for a second and wearing just a wife beater with no bra.
Yeah.
And just
And my
being
hair like this.
no makeup.
but
and
like
just being
gorgeous.
like skin.
That's the kind of lesbian I'd want to be. I'd want to be a tattooed lesbian.
Yes. So they. Oh, now you're like feeling.
Now I'm in
that
it.
aesthetic. Wait, I think I have the outfit. I think I
Yeah,
have
I'm like, I
it.
could actually pull this off amazingly.
So they loved each other, and they like. George Michael ended up going solo, which not saying that one of us is going to go
still
solo.
on Wham.
But he basically was like, I couldn't be where I was if it wasn't for the other person believing in me.
But he cut him right out. He was like, "So thanks for
Well-
believing in me on my solo journey.
Well, I think because
Won't be a documentary about you."
I think because we both have our own solo stuff going on.
Yeah.
But when we're together, it empowers us. And that's our mental health moment
Okay,
of
great.
the week. Thank you guys so much for giggling with us. We love you so much. Toronto tickets are on sale. Some of them are expensive because they're like festival tickets apparently, but
Yep.
we're releasing more like just our show tickets.
Yes.
So check that out. The tickets are going on sale for our second ever New York show at I think
Wednesday, July 11th. Wednesday, July 12th. Sorry.
I would believe you, whatever you
Thank
said.
you.
But yeah, New York City, we're coming for you. Tickets are dropping. Keep an eye out. We love you guys so much. Thanks for giggling. Bye.